Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot and oracle, your daily insight on life and love for August 1st, 2022. Also being timeless, wherever you're catching it time, it might be relevant. It could be horribly irrelevant. It could be entertaining. It might be so cringeworthy, but we're here anyways. So this again is a general collective reading. Don't ever force these bad boys to fit your life. You can seriously drop kick it to the curb, but if this makes sense and if you're enjoying yourself and you want to book a personal reading or any of the services I provide at the beginning and at the end of the video, there's all the ways of contact. Also, it's in the description. I can promise you I'm never going to initially reach out. That's going to be a spammer. Go ahead and mess with them and send the actual me the screenshots. It's always entertaining. I'm recording this on a very lazy Sunday, looking forward to a magnificent Monday. So what do you say we kick this off? I love that we are getting this as an acknowledgement right now. Masculine energy. It's kind of messy. It's kind of all over the place. It's kind of confused with itself. There's no real structure, no real solid idea. There's no solid routine going on. This person has been a mess. And oh my God, has it been a glorious mess. I see they're frustrated with themselves and they almost feel like they're bound to whatever their paradigm is about their situation or their life. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in front of me. So we're going to take our time and going through whatever this funk is. This is genderless. We all have masculine and feminine inside of us, but if you're watching this, chances are you've been living in the momentum of masculine for whatever the reason has been. This is kind of talking about it. So there's really no shelter for you to be found in or had. This is figurative. It means that you're kind of burnt out and working without a net right now. I do see that is kind of clouding your decisions to begin with right here. You're not quite sure of what to do. All right, back to recording on this very lazy Sunday for a very wonderful looking Monday. And it comes again acknowledging that things are not as in control, not as in control of as they should have been, not as disciplined, not as dedicated, not as straightforward with their actions and decisions. None of that. This person feels like they've been kind of a mess, and this is dealing again with masculine energy. It's something that we all carry, but if you're watching this, being in complete disarray has probably been a pretty normal theme for you as of recently. So whatever shackles you feel have bounded you from the past, understand that it's time to cut yourself out of them. Like literally cut yourself out of these shackles. You don't feel like you have a key? Start chainsawing that bad boy off. And I mean this in a very figurative way. Obviously you don't have shackles on you, and if you do, I'm so sorry. But we have this card next. So this is going to be a time where you're really painting the world as you see it. It's going to be a deep and contemplative time. The view of the outside world is kind of skewed. And I also see that you're wearing these 3 swords over your head as if it's going to be something that not only attacks your mind, it attacks the way that you speak and it attacks the way that you feel. I feel like this has been stagnating your movement. And I also see that you're an incredibly strong person. I know that you're probably tired of hearing that too. You have this 1 sword underneath you where you could really cut yourself free from the shackles, from the problems, from whatever has been weighing on you. You have the ability to free yourself up from it. And I feel like one of the ways of looking at this is, well, apparently this is one of those recording days where everything gets interrupted. So I'm sorry, and hopefully it won't happen again. But as I was saying, you have the ability to get through all of this. I know you're tired of hearing about it. It's like everything that's been weighing on your head has almost made you lay still. And what was your comfort and what was at a time your bed became your sarcophagus. It's kind of looking like that in there, isn't it? It's a deep introspective time for you. Are you going to let these swords stay over your head, causing you a sense of fear, or are you going to take the sword underneath and knock them away? I know that you're praying for some sort of result and answer. You're going to get it. What's going to happen, we have the Two of Pentacles here. Now this, it kind of almost feels like it gets worse before it gets better. That may be the case here. It happens with illness, it happens with life situations. You have to acknowledge the motion of, sorry about the cars. You have to acknowledge the motion of either the illness or the hardship that's already in motion. Your acknowledgement, your awareness, it becomes your advantage. And I see that you've been juggling way too many things. You've stretched yourself so thin. You have been bound by your decisions in the past. And now it's like you can't keep your head above water going this way. You just can't. And I see that you are losing your spark. You've been losing your light. And I think that this has been happening for quite some time. I'm also seeing that even though it seems like there's major upset in this, there's a lot of healing in that upset. And I think that it's you letting everything fall. It's you letting everything crumble in your grip. And I do feel like you are going to be getting help from those who are either around you or who are around you supportive-wise. This could be social media, it could be in your actual world. But I do see that you're not going to be bearing the burden and the pain alone. I do see support coming in, and it's coming in through the form of the Lovers. Now, this doesn't have to actually mean lovers, because it shows up in many ways, shapes, and forms. This is going to be somebody who knows you intimately and who sees what has been weighing on you. And I don't think that it's them just grabbing everything off of your plate. Not at all. I feel like they're going to mirror back to you how you've spread yourself so thin, and how through everything that you have learned through this time, the overbearing, the overburden, it's time for you to actually start shedding that skin. And we have Archangel Gabriel here. This is somebody who comes down and fights for the good, or that defends the good. And I see that there's so much that has been left in you that is wonderful and amazing. And I want you to know that you're not far gone on this. And I think that they're cutting through all this confusion with you and showing you that your problems, they're way off in the distance, whether it's past or future. I think that it might be past because there's a lot that you have to leave behind. I'm seeing this as a rebalancing of the feminine and masculine aspect of you, the yin and the yang. And we're also dealing with the third eye chakra. There's something that you've been seeing recently, clairvoyance, the whole seeing aspect of it, making the best choices for those who are, well, making the best choice for all those involved. But this is in regard to you. There might be some people that you have had to let go of, and that's not a bad thing. There might be some people who kind of need the reassurance from you, but I'm also seeing that this is going to be something that you tie off the loose ends of at this point in time, because this is going to set off the new long term for you, what's going to be involved in your experience. And recently I did a recording, and it was talking about the prolonged 15 years, what's going to be your experience, what's going to be in your environment. And this, I think, actually might be in connection to it. So let's look at this. All right. What deck do I want to use? I feel this thing's coming. Thank you. Let's do this. Never-ending story. Okay. Another one. To be fair is in reverse. I know that you've been through some pretty excruciating experiences and circumstance, and this is involving somebody very close to you, very intimate connection. It can be romantic, it can be familial, it doesn't matter. What's coming about is the same story that you keep telling about yourself, about this situation, and how this isn't fitting. Part of what's at the finish line is realizing that certain times of your life are gone. They're not forgotten, but they're over. And time is running out to stand still because of that. It's like you don't want to see your reflection. It's like you don't even know who you are if you don't carry your past with you, and that can be excruciating in on itself. It's time to start taking a really hard look at you. You're in transition to this new chapter, this new phase. I do feel like it's already started. But there's a lot of hesitance because of everything that's happened to you. You have to re-identify yourself. And with the to be fair in reverse, I'm not giving you any guff for it, but there's a lot of kind of sulking that's going on, rightfully so. You know, you're a good person. Why did this happen to you? Well, it's not fair what happened. It's not fair for what you had lost, what you had to lose. It's not fair for how long you had to stay in a certain situation. None of that is fair, but now the decision is up to you. Are you ready to let this go? Are you ready to begin this new chapter? Are you ready to make these changes? You're in transition. The ball is rolling. And it seems like this is going to be something that happens fairly fast, but I also feel like, good God, you hear that in the background? What is with this Sunday? Like, there's been sirens everywhere. Car alarms have been going off. There was a motorcycle thing that was happening earlier, and even the police were involved in it. It was like this whole big drive thing that they were doing. It wasn't anything illegal. It was actually impressive, but so loud outside. Yeah, it's a really weird day. The energy's absolutely weird. So let's get back to the reading. No, it's not fair with what happened to you. I'm sorry that you were so greatly hurt. I'm not being sarcastic with it. I'm really sorry that you were hurt as much as you were. But why do you keep telling this story about yourself that it's almost like you still believe that you are that same person? To leave this behind is to acknowledge that you're not going to be that exposed or that available to whatever that is. And you're not living that storyline anymore. Like, you have changed storylines, and it's important that you recognize that now. So what I see here is coming out of that messy time of your life, there's a whole new start that's coming into play. What is this? Good God. You know, I made popcorn earlier. That has to be cinnamon underneath my nails. Yep, I know. I'm not gardening or anything right now, so it's just, yeah, that was cinnamon. Give me a minute. I see a whole new actual start that is coming into play. I do feel like it's going to be you breaking through your confusion, breaking through these closure bits, breaking through all of the silence that has been going on, and just you laying down and doing the same routine for God knows how long. I am seeing this as heart chakra information coming through. So I do feel like this new beginning that has a lot of action around it is very much guided by your heart. And it's not only guided by your heart, this is divinely guided. So Spirit has been pushing your hand on this, and it knows where you are. It's like hoping that you'll discover how much of your heart is left, how much is there to recover, and how much is going to be there to blossom. And it's coming out of nowhere. This might be happening at the most abrupt time that you could think of. It's not going to be wonderfully planned or anything like that. Looking back, it's probably going to be divine timing. If you look at it, you'll see why everything had to happen the way that it did in those times. I see in the distance this new castle that you will be inhabiting, but I think that it's more mental rather than physical. By the way, if you're in Scotland or Ireland and you have a spare castle, you're looking to either rent it or get rid of it, there is an email address that's in the description. It's not that I'm, looking for it, but if need be, I will gladly and honorably take the castle off your hands. Just hit me up. I will do that. And going into here, look at this. I see the breakthroughs that you're having, and I see that all those who you are figuratively leading in this. So this horse is looking back at you with pride. Love it. I can't get enough of it. They know exactly how hard you have worked to make the changes in your foundation, how hard it was to lead this, how much power you have, how much heart you do have. And what I see here is you looking to set down where you can actually set down some actual roots. And this might be job oriented, this could be situational in your life. I'm seeing a lot of earth energy around this, not because the wands, no, the wands I think are fire if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But also the people who are lying in your wake, they're looking and seeing how resilient you have become. I see this as those who are following you, they're going to be inspired by your action. You started this butterfly effect of change. The fact that you are able to do this, it says a lot about the people who would not do this, because it's almost like you were kind of the thermometer of change. And if something was okay with you, if something was passable enough for you, nobody else was going to even bother. But when stuff got too much for you and you started to make the actual changes, other people are looking, and it's like, oh sweet Jesus, what are we going to do now? If they can't handle this, how are we going to handle this? So you're being very inspirational with these. Even if it looks like nobody is watching, you are being completely observed and admired. This is really admirable, the change that you're making. And yes, again, you will be having help. I see the rebirth happening. I see that this is going to be done with your Venus sign. I'm not saying somebody who has your Venus sign, no. Look at what your Venus sign is and what house it's in. This might be an indication of where you can start to see the initial changes. But I do see that this is going to be dealing with matters of Venus, matters of the heart, the feminine aspects of yourself. I feel like the feminine aspects of you are going to be quieting and calming and soothing towards the masculine. And whatever the feminine aspect of this is, they wear their stars as crowns. Everything that they had been through, they wear with such pride. And they know that this has made them the person that they are today. See how laid back they are. See how relaxed everything is. How they are pretty much one with the world around them. They're committed by comforts. They are seeing this flow behind them. They know that everything is in divine working order. So this may be you. This could be somebody that you are dealing with who is helping the Venus version of what's changing in your life. This is somebody who's been through what you have been through, and they know how peaceful and how whole you can feel on the other side of this. So I do feel like somebody's inspiration is, well, somebody is behaving as inspiration, a muse, motivation towards you, because not only did they live through it, they survived, now they're thriving, and this is giving you the inspiration, okay, now I can do this. And other people are going, okay, they're doing it too, I can do this too. Huge shifts of change that are occurring, and this might be something as small as not drinking coffee anymore. I know, big one. This could also be a complete life gear shift. You might be changing something very massive in your life. It's a tower moment, really. So I'm seeing fate drop kick you into the right alignment with the right people, and nothing is going to be done outside of it. This is going to light a fire of urgency and passion and initial insight on what should be done. It's like, okay, enough games, enough doing this. Now we're doing this. Now it's time for this to happen. We're not messing around here. I see that is going to be the major reliever. So everything, like I was saying at the beginning of this, it looks like it's starting to get tossed up and chaotic, and this is actually a repurposing and repositioning certain aspects of your life to be used to their maximum benefit. And I see that this is relieving a lot of the stress, a lot of the cloudiness. Whatever swords were over your head, you realize that they're not going to hurt you anymore. And I see that coming out of stalemate, there is slow movement, and recovery will happen and will be slow, thankfully so. And I see that every action and decision that you cut through is not only going to be healing, it's going to be faith affirming. I do feel like that is going to be a really strong foundation right now. So I think that all in all, it's very perseverant, beautiful, and inspiring. And look at your Venus sign and see what house it's in. See how that interacts. That's where you might see the initial changes. If you have questions about booking a private reading based off of this, or for any other reading, or any of the services I provide, go ahead, reach out, see what might be right for you. We'll talk pricing, sales, discounts, availability, all that jazz. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. Starting to make the very physical changes in your life, and I see that there is going to be community around this. This is going to take a very long time for you to come and gather and solidify the changes. So this is saying, please be gentle on yourself, please be focused on yourself, and let yourself bloom in the correct time. So this is no quick fix here. That's the most important thing. You might be looking for shortcuts, want instant results. That's not going to get paid off here. The changes that you are making, it seems very physical, by the way. It's going to take a long time, not as long as you'd imagined, but you're going to meet your milestones, which is super awesome. But you have to do something that kind of excites you, that makes you feel like you can interact with others. I don't care if you're introvert or extrovert, that doesn't matter. There's a sense of community that is going to be building up your spirit with this. And I see that this is going to be something that you do really need to take your time with. This might be involving some very deep kindred spirits in your life. I feel a genuine sincerity that's extending out to you. It's almost like you guys kind of mother each other in this. Now, I say mother you in this, but I gotta take it away. You guys are very nurturing towards each other. I need to take away the mom aspect of this, because not everybody has a mom. And some people who do have moms, they can be garbage at times. I'm just saying. whoever this is not that kind of energy. It's very nurturing, very compassionate, and very enamoring. I feel that this is going to take some discipline. You do have a history of getting discouraged on this path. I think this might be health oriented. So don't let any discouragement build up. You have to be gentle with yourself. This is not going to happen overnight. There is no quick fixes for the changes that you do need to make. So this is going to involve a lot of physical movement on your part. But I also see that this is going to be a journey, and you have the support of those around you. So the physical changes that you're making on your health journey, they're going to rock. And you are going to blossom. Your personality is going to go through a transformation with all the more confidence that you get. So do this for you. Do this for whatever your priority is. Just make sure that's not dangerous towards yourself or others. You need to assert yourself more in relationships. Now, I think that you're used to having to be a doormat or more compliant towards those who are around you. But I see that you're restless and you haven't been feeling fulfilled in your connections. So Spirit is telling you, listen, it's not about how much more you can give. That's got to stop. Enough of that crap. There's give and take. That doesn't have to be a business transaction, but you've given enough right now. Your heart chakra is learning how to put their foot down and do it with love. There's something that you can be confident with whoever this is on the other side of the conversation. I do feel like this is going to be something that builds the intimacy closer between you guys, but I also don't want you feeling like you're going to have to overly expose yourself in an emotional way towards them. I want you to be real. I want you to be raw, but this isn't where you have to, I guess, explain it in such a way where it's down to every little bit of detail. You don't need to explain yourself for why you always have to put your foot down, why you have to make this decision. I mean, you can, but don't feel like you have to be forced to. Otherwise, people aren't going to listen to you. I think that's what I'm saying this, yeah. I also see that this is going to build strength for you, because I do see the guilt that's surrounding you and talking about whatever it is that you have to put your foot down about. And I do see that this is going to create a new sense of transparency between you and those who are involved. You're a very lovable person. And I know that whoever this is involving with you, this is something that you want to build on. But you guys have to have more confidence than walking around on eggshells around each other. Otherwise, all is going to fall to the wayside. I do see that this is actually going to encourage them too to assert themselves. I feel like the people who are involved in this, they're kind of used to having to be overly compliant to everybody. Otherwise, it wasn't going to get them anywhere. So I see an emotional growth spurt happening, and I see the intimacy, I see the understanding, I see the honor and respect building between the parties involved in this. So you are lovable, you are safe to love, and you can love with an open heart. You are going to be protected. I feel like the people who are involved in this connection, they are very protective of each other. And now I'm not talking in some crazy, overbearing psycho stalker way. I'm not saying that. This is where everybody is on the same page, and what honors me, I will also honor you. Does that make sense? There's a lot of confidence to be had and built in this connection, and it feels really beautiful. So this, I hope, makes sense, and I do feel like this is somebody who's already in your atmosphere, somebody you've already been building with, not somebody that you know. I'm sorry, so awkward. I hope you enjoyed it though. Something has been weighing on you about either your body or your mind. You've been nervous about it. I feel like you've been making some drastic moves in your life, and this does feel health oriented. And I gotta ask, how does it feel to be sober from whatever your coping tool was? This could be anything. It could be alcohol, it could be substance abuse, it could be food, it could be work, it could be exercise, it could be a plethora of things. But I do feel like you've made the cognitive decision to start doing this in a less aggressive manner. It's like you're afraid of the damages that you did to your body. I do feel like you will be healing. I also feel like your mental energy, your physical energy, your emotional energy, all of that seems to be going through a dramatic increase right now. I do feel like with any addiction, sobriety is going to have to happen one day at a time. So whatever the case is for you, you're going to get through this. You might be in the very beginning stages of the detox from whatever this is, but you need to know that you do have the upper hand on this. And also, I feel like there is support that is coming in. So we have divine intervention too. It was getting to the breaking point with you, wasn't it? Like, it's either I make the change or I'm gonna have an incredibly destructive life that could do some real damage to self or others. You are nothing short of a miracle in this. Whatever it is that you have made the changes from, this seems to be in your benefit like never before. Also, let me just say as a disclaimer, if you stop taking medications recently without telling your doctor, please either switch doctors and tell doctors. And the only reason is maybe there's something going on with the other doctor that you are not comfortable with, or talk to the actual doctor. But I want to give that disclaimer because I never want you to put yourself in a terrible situation or in a dangerous situation. I hope that you understand that. I only want what's best for you. But also, I do know that that might be something that you need to talk to either your original healthcare professional or a new one. So just want to clear the air on that. So putting that aside right now, have faith that you will get through this. Have faith that support is coming in for you and that you are actively and beautifully turning your life around, and you really should be proud of yourself. One step at a time, one day at a time, one new ability at a time. You've got this, and I think that your life is going to be changed for the better. I really do. Time to clean out the home and make changes in the home for the new lifestyle that you are leading, or the new life changes that you're implementing. You need to either be in a different circle or crowd, or you need to completely revamp the home so relapse is minimized, or the potential for it is minimized, is what I mean to say. There has been something that has been hanging on your mind for quite some time, and it seems like nothing that has ever been put in your path to help has stuck. I know how that can feel. I know how that goes. But I'm also seeing that this has been something that has been keeping you up at night. The changes that you're implementing, this is not just impulsive right here. It's not impulsive at all. This has been something that's really been keeping you up late at night. And I see that nothing has worked in the past. There's been no magic eraser. There's been no magic cure, none of that. So it's kind of like you're doing this head on, either that or cold turkey, or you're making the drastic change to ensure the best outcome in here. And that's awesome. I do see recovery. I do see sobriety of whatever the case is happening, but you need to get help in the home base, because what is happening seems to be happening where you rest at night. And I know how scary that can be. You don't have to do this alone. I think there's a major hang up with people in asking for help, especially if they are seen in such a way, either they're held in high regard or maybe not so, whatever, how they isolate or identify themselves, they usually do not ask for help because they're afraid of what this is going to do for either their image or their ability to be taken serious. I want you to challenge yourself in those moments to not only realize that you're human, but these people need to see this authentic side of you and have the ability to help you, because you are not going to be the person who people reflect on and wondering why you never asked for help, why you didn't do this. You need to do this for yourself. You need to ask for help and actually receive it. Nobody's going to take away your voice. Nobody's going to take you less serious. Nobody is going to condemn you for it. You are absolutely a wonderful person who is worthy of the recovery that needs to happen. There's an absolutely necessary reason for this. And I do see that it's not only going to change your paradigm, it's going to change your mindset, it's going to change the way that you connect to others and also your environment. Please take these steps for yourself. You do matter, and you need to know that, and people will show you that. All right? I hope that made sense. So it feels like those who were supposed to protect you, those who are supposed to take care of you, those who are supposed to guide you, drop the ball severely. And I know that there is a divine masculine energy that you need to heal in your life. Sometimes it gets called the father wound. Not everybody has a father, so I just want to call it the divine masculine wound. This is feeling like you have no power. You were never given any sort of voice or choice for action. It was like you're making all your decisions for everyone else, and you were living to appease and people please with everyone else, and there was very little regard for you. And it often feels like you were somehow just left vulnerable and exposed and kind of thrown to the wolves on this. Now, I love that thing. Throw me to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. That's awesome, but this is not where you were. What I see here is you need to understand that a lot of your actions are based off of a fear of disempowerment, a fear of not being protected, a fear that you'll have to do everything alone and that you can't rely on anyone. I want you to pay attention to your thoughts, and even as I'm saying this, it's because, yeah, either everyone sucks, nobody was ever there. I get that. It feels like nobody was ever there to either hear you or to physically actually be there for you. But I also know that you had to mature at a very young age because of that, which also to me is telling me that you are emotionally stunted. Now, don't take that the wrong way. We all have these little points in our lives that we are stunted by. This happens to be one of yours, and it's not a negative thing. I feel like there's two versions of you that are going on right now. The adult you looking at whatever that locked in age is, and that locked in age looking at adult you. And these two have kind of got to coincide and rearrange each other and grow together. So it's like you are calling that aspect back of yourself and seeing what they do need and validating that younger version of you and protecting them in a way that you don't feel that you either were protected or that somebody could have done better. And again, this is not a bad thing. But also, as you are doing this, you need to know you're gonna act kind of funky. When you start doing that wounded aspect of you healing, the wounded child, you start doing childish things. You start acting out like that. And that's not always a bad thing. You might either go play like a kid. You might have your favorite movie and dinner that you would have had as a kid, which is awesome. But your behavior as a kid, you might actually start to tantrum like one too, whatever the age was. I want you to be patient with yourself and see what is triggering you and what it's making you feel inside with that. This could be a real opportunity for you to flip the script on it. So I see that there's an effort of awareness being made on your part, but also it's going to bring about new coping changes that are coming in. Well, new coping changes that you will implement. And I see a sense of playfulness that's coming back that actually it's going to put you in a better heart and mind place. I want to see what's on the other side of this. I really hope that this hits home with you because this is great. This is beautiful and so validating of you. Spirit is giving you the message right now that first off, there are changes that are not being seen, that it feels probably like your world is stagnant, but there's really nothing that you can do. Spirit wants you to know that there are changes that are occurring and that this is happening behind the scenes. It is something that is going to be very black and white for you, and I can say that because the zebra, but it's not only that. This is something that kind of feels like it's alone for you. It's going to be something that has to take time. We have the breathe. We also have representation of snails on here, choosing the direction that you want to go, taking your time to get there. There are no shortcuts. Shortcuts have to be done and away with. This is not what you want to build your foundation on. When you start to take shortcuts, everything starts to get messy. It's not something that is strong and held together. It leads to kind of being almost on sand. You can't build much on sand. It needs to be anchored in something. So I see that this is going to involve a lot of planning for you. Don't get in over your head with that. I have seen people before who we have to make plans. And the plans always lead to a sense of failure, like nothing can be done. That's a load of crap. Start developing a plan, break it down into baby steps, start checking off those baby steps, because that's going to get your energy to continue and to make more of an impact. This is going to be something that truly does build you up. Spirit is really preparing you for the changes. So I want you to see where everything in your life is either falling away or funneling into. There's some very clear messages about what is changing. And I want you to know you can't wait until the last second with this. Spirit's not letting that happen now, which is probably why you've been so agitated and probably wanting to jump down everybody's throat. So what are the changes that you need to make? What are the signs that Spirit is telling you about, I guess, what's incoming, what you need to let go of? I am highly interested. So yeah, let me know what this means for you.